Hello, gorgeous people, and welcome to another TV Central one-on-one podcast. I'm Aaron Ryan. This is episode 22, 2024. Julia Goodwin became a household name when she was crowned Australia's first ever MasterChef. Thrust into the limelight, Australia's favourite mum has gone on to become one of Australia's best-selling authors with her cookbook, Our Family Table. Julie has also since hosted breakfast radio shows, published 7 cookbooks, as well as her personal memoir, Your Time Starts Now, and has returned to the MasterChef kitchen as a contestant twice. Her time on Dancing with the Stars started with an injury, but then a beautiful Viennese Waltz resulted in a great score of 27. And last night, we saw a different side of Julie, labelled a saucy minx by Helen Ritchie. What a dance it was. Julie has popped in for a chat to discuss all things dancing and a wonderful life and career. Julie Goodwin, thank you for joining me at TV Central.
My absolute pleasure.
Well, first up, your sexy, sassy diva you. What is going on? Even Helen Ritchie, as I mentioned, called you a saucy minx. The Julia Goodwin of the Viennese Waltz is the Julie I pictured on Dancing. This foxy nipple tassels underneath Julie was not what I expected. How funny was that?
Oh my God. I didn't really. I tell you what, when they came to me and said we're doing Big Spender and that I had to play like this dominatrix style role and shove my poor dance partner all over the floor, I was absolutely mortified.
Oh, beautiful. Was this entire series kind of what you expected, or did it fall or exceed your expectations? It just felt like watching someone that is not settling in life, but someone that's still willing to push, to explore, to experience. Is that how you see it?
Look, yeah, I absolutely. It's MasterChef was a funny old thing where it changed absolutely everything. And what it taught me was that you just don't know what's around the corner. And so Um, yeah, and some of the best stuff happens where you've really got no idea what's coming. So, yeah, outside the comfort zone, I think is where the most interesting stuff happens in life. And boy, I don't think I've been so far outside my comfort zone as I was on dancing.
How daunting was doing the series when you know that you're up against people like Samantha Jade and Lisa McCune? And they have experience on the stage. Were you in it to win it?
Oh God, no, I wasn't in it to win it. I honestly didn't think I'd be able to string 2 steps together. And that's not me downplaying anything. I am renowned among the people who know me as being an absolute klutz. So no, I didn't go in there for the win. I went in there for an experience. I went in there to push myself outside my comfort zone to see if I actually could do something that I've been told my whole life I can't do, and just to have a new experience, meet new people. You just never know what's going to unfold. So I absolutely got from that experience everything that I went there for.
The series obviously did not start well with the injury. Can you expand on what happened?
Oh, look, we had trained so hard. We'd been training for a month here on the Central Coast, and that was meant to be 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. But my beautiful dance partner would get me in on the weekends as well. So literally every day dancing for hours and learning these routines. And just before we were due to go on with our first dance, we were rehearsing and I I just it ripped my calf muscle tore in 2 different places. And this is
Oh,
after thousands and thousands of steps, after hundreds of run throughs of the same thing. Just in that moment, it all just gave way. And I was crushed. I was devastated after all that work to think that we weren't going to be able to get out there and do what we'd worked so hard towards.
well, you were the comeback queen though with the Viennese Waltz, so elegant and beautiful. I mean, tell me about that experience. I mean, you say that you were a klutz and stuff, but I mean that was really elegant and beautiful.
Well, thank you. I had an excellent teacher. There's just no two ways about it. He's been Australian champion multiple times. He's been fourth in the world in ballroom dancing. So we're not talking about, a show tune guy. He's a proper champion ballroom dancer, and so he was able to teach me, like, constantly picking on my posture and all that sort of stuff. Like, we're great mates, Andre and I, and we still talk every single day. But we'd be walking down the street, and I'd just feel this nip on my shoulder. He'd be pinching me on the shoulder because my posture was no good. So he really taught me how to hold myself, how to place my hands, and he did it hilariously. He would say, what are you doing with your feet? We are not stamping cockroaches, we are dancing. And so we laughed so hard. And I think that really eased that transition from, a cockroach stamping a hunchbacked klutz into someone who can actually do a Viennese waltz.
You definitely can. What I love about you, and what the whole of Australia really love, is that you wear your heart on your sleeve. You are so real. We have experienced your culinary skills, your television work, cookbooks, but you also say how you feel, have shared your mental health struggles, and are happy to show all facets of your life. You could have just gone for the TV chef persona and made a career just out of that, even if it would be perhaps a caricature, but you really put yourself out there. Was that always a deliberate move, or is that just how things evolved?
Look, I think I went on MasterChef the first time around when I was 38 years old. And I think by that age, you're just too tired to create a persona. I just didn't, I don't have a good enough memory to make something up and stick with it. I just couldn't see the point in not being anything other than who I am. And in terms of openness about, mental health and all that kind of thing, I think the reality is that even if I'd wanted to keep all that stuff private, there's nothing very private about my life these days. So I could either try and keep it private, probably fail halfway and end up with a bunch of half truth out there, or I could just say, this is what's happening, and actually lean into it in the sense that, if I know that there's other people that are going through this, and I know it because I ended up in a hospital with a bunch of people experiencing mental health issues, ordinary people just trying for a better life, who had so much shame about the fact that they were going through that. And I just thought, that's not right. It's not right that you should be ashamed that you're here working towards a better life for yourself and for your family and all the people around you. So I just thought, if me talking about it can remove any of the stigma or anybody's shame in any way, then that's the space I want to occupy.
You said at the end of the Dancing with the Stars episode that you would carry yourself differently moving forward, and you believe different things about yourself. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, look, I've always and you can see it if you look at old clips of MasterChef and other things that I've done. I've always been, I try and take up a smaller amount of space than I should. And I'm always kind of hunched up and nervous about how I look. So I will carry myself differently now. I will walk with a better posture. I'll feel that little nip of my dance partner to, put my head up and put my back straight and to carry myself with a bit more pride. And the beliefs I have believed all my life, and this brought me to tears a few times when I was dancing and practicing. I've believed all my life, and I've believed it because I've been told by my jazz ballet teacher when I was a little girl, only maybe 6 or 7 years old, that I cannot dance, that I am uncoordinated, that I would trip over nothing, which is, it all becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I've spent my life believing that that's who I am. I'm clumsy, I'm bullheaded, I'm a bull in a china shop. All those things I've been described as all my life. And now I know that if I put my mind to it and work really, really hard and train for hundreds and thousands of hours, that I can dance.
And you definitely can. What was your favorite part of the experience and the most daunting? I mean, there's the lights, the costumes, the performance, the rehearsals, the meeting the cast, the learning. What was it?
Look, my absolute favorite thing is meeting Andre Gorbunov, my dance partner. He and I are fast friends now, and we hang out with each other whenever we're in the same sort of realm, and we talk every single day. I love him, and I love his fiance, and Mick does too. You know, we're all really good friends. So that's been a beautiful gift, a really unexpected gift. But I have to say that being on that show, as opposed to any other show I've ever been on, with the lights and the jewels and the dresses and the staging and the music, it just tapped into the little girl part of me that used to love the midday movies and has always loved Hollywood and Broadway and musicals and big numbers and all those iconic sort of names of the star and screen. I felt like, you know, this little kid who grew up in suburban Sydney got to step into that glamour world for a few weeks, and that was something else. That was really special.
You always say how it is. So honestly, Shane Crawford channeling Ricky Martin. What did you think of that performance? I mean, I shouldn't make fun of it too much because it actually rated well with the judges.
I could not have loved that more. And you know what? It's a ballroom competition, but at the end of the day, what people want is to be entertained. And I think that's Helen nailed it when she said that. That was just entertaining. I sat and watched that with my family, that episode, my adult sons, my husband, and we all laughed and enjoyed that so enormously that you can't take a single thing away from that performance. I thought it was fantastic.
All right, let's move away from dancing to cooking. You have a website that is aptly titled juliegoodwin.com.au. Some great recipes on there, and they're not just for the experienced chefs. I mean, I've attempted the satay chicken skewers. I'm a bit scared to try the crispy pork belly and ginger broth, but that sounds beautiful. I might need to for you to drop it and help me on that one. But were the recipes aimed at the everyday family cooks? Because some other websites you actually need to be a MasterChef winner to create these meals.
You know, all of my recipes, and don't worry that if you follow the steps on the pork belly with ginger, you'll nail it. All of my recipes are aimed at ordinary people. I'm an ordinary person. That's all I was doing when I went on MasterChef. And if you follow the steps, like the whole idea is to have nice food at the end of the cooking. You know, my recipes aren't designed to make you feel inadequate, and they're not designed to make me look tricky or good or clever. My recipes are designed so that you can go and spend your hard-earned dollars on ingredients that you can get your hands on, and at the end of a specified period of time, you're going to have nice food to eat. That's all. That's all. And that's all cooking is turning money into ingredients into nice food to eat.
Look, you were the winner of MasterChef. One would think it would be easy to go out on a high with that show. Why go back? I mean, not once, but twice.
That's a great question, mate. That is a great question. The All Stars one, which is only a few years after the first one, that was a charity thing, and it just felt to me like a good opportunity to have some fun in that kitchen instead of just the absolute stress ball that I was the first time round. And the second time round came at a really funny old time in my life. You know, it was COVID. I'd been unwell. I'd been in and out of hospital. I actually had no idea what the future would hold, and that little tap on the shoulder came, and I thought perhaps that's what I'm supposed to do now, and so I went and did it, and I'm so glad that I did.
I saw in an interview that you said you'd done some really wonderful, had some really wonderful experiences when stepping out of your comfort zone, and you mentioned that in this interview. So what's still on the bucket list then?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't, this is just it. I don't really know what's around the corner. I've done plenty of things outside my comfort zone. You know, I've jumped out of an aeroplane I never wanted to. It wasn't even on the bucket list. And abseiled off a building, all this sort of stuff in the name of charity and radio stunts and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know what's next. I reckon my husband and I would be great on The Amazing Race. Although when I say we'd be great, I think we'd be great TV, but we'd be we can't navigate our way anywhere. We get lost everywhere we go. So maybe not. But something like that, something outdoors, I reckon. So one of those kind of challenges. But I'm up for anything, just about anything. You know, I wouldn't go on Love Island or Married at First Sight, but yeah. Just about anything else I'll give a go.
That would be stepping out of your comfort zone.
Like so far out of my comfort zone, I'm not sure I'd ever make it back in my family home.
Surely you really are an inspiration. Your authenticity is so striking. You wear your heart on your sleeve. It was great to see the elegant and the sassy Julie on Dancing with the Stars. Powerful and beautiful. Let's end this podcast so we can talk all things pork belly. But Julie, thank you for joining me at TV Central.
Thank you, my absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Lovely. That was the gorgeous Julie Goodwin, superstar of Dancing with the Stars, and of course, culinary queen of Australia, and just a bloody decent Aussie. We love her. Dancing with the Stars continues next Sunday on 7, and the grand final on Monday, the 12th of August. Head to juliegoodwin.com.au for some easy to follow recipes. And just as a tip, look out for the grandma's shortbread to die for. Well, that's it for another TV Central 101 podcast. For all the latest television news, streaming info, ratings, cinema movie reviews, TV guides, and podcasts, head to tvcentral.com.au. But for now, I'm Aaron Ryan. Thanks to Julie Goodwin. Bye for now.